Chalo, okay. Chalo. Let's start with the class. So children, this is the most important topic of macroeconomics, that is money and banking. And as all we know that every day money forms the most important part of our life. So let's first define. I hope everybody has got that slide where I have written the key points, meaning of money. Today we are going to discuss meaning of money, evolution of money, types of money, money supply and its measures, commercial banks, types of deposits accepted by commercial banks, and credit creation process of commercial banks. So let us first define money. Money is that common medium of exchange which is generally accepted by everyone. That is, in our day-to-day life, wherever we go, we can easily accept money for any transactions, for buying, for selling. Money is required as a common medium of exchange in our day-to-day life. Okay. Then let us talk about how money was evolved. Money, as all we know, it is the modern invention. It is not an early times invention, because in earlier times people used to follow barter system of exchange.
Barter
Barter
system.
system of exchange में क्या होता था कि वहाँ पे commodities were exchanged for commodities. That is, people used to exchange goods for goods. But that
Goods.
system has its own disadvantages. क्योंकि उस टाइम पे कोई ऐसा मेजरमेंट नहीं हो सकता था कि एक गुड के बदले हम कितने गुड को एक्सचेंज करें. देयर वाज नो कॉमन मीन्स ऑफ measurement. Then there was no possibility of storage of goods, because with the passage of time goods used to be spoiled. There were some perishable goods also जो कि time के साथ spoil हो जाते थे. Then there was the problem of lack of divisibility. That is, if a person had a car and he wanted 5 kilograms of rice, so he cannot divide a car, he cannot break it into pieces and exchange it. That was the most common difficulty people were facing that time. And last but not the least, people had to find that person who was producing the good of his requirement, and he needed the good which he was producing. So that was known as lack of double coincidence of wants. So because of these few difficulties, people felt the need of that medium of exchange which could be easily acceptable by everyone and which does not have these drawbacks or difficulties with the barter system. So Adam Smith has remarked one of his books that money is the most important invention of mankind. That is, it has revolutionized the world with its importance and significance. Now let us talk about how money was involved. I'm showing you a flow chart in which I have written in the form of boxes and shapes that how money was evolved. I hope everybody can see that.
Yes.
You can see that it is written that first commodity money was used, then metallic money, because commodity money was cattles, goods, stones, pebbles. Then slowly we moved on to metallic money, that is gold and silver coins. But people felt that it was not safe and secure to transport a huge sum of money in the form of gold and silver coins. So we moved on to paper currency. That is, as we moved from pastoral to modern age, we moved to paper currency. That is notes, paper notes, which we are still using it. Then it was also again found difficult that it was not a safe means of transportation when we have to pay in a huge sum of money. Then we moved on to bank money. Bank money includes checks, demand drafts, pay orders, which is a very safest and secure means of transportation of money from one place to another. Then today in modern times, we are using plastic money. Plastic money consists of debit and credit cards. Those we are using it today because online, and in such a crisis which we are facing today, that is the spread of coronavirus, online transaction is the safest transaction nowadays. So I hope you are clear with the evolution of money. That is how we moved on from commodity money to plastic money.
Yes, ma'am.
Now let us talk about types of money. That is how many types of money we are using. First is fiat money. Fiat money is that money which is issued by the order of the government. That is, everybody has to accept it legally by the order of the government. That is all currencies and coins which we are using till date. Then we come to fiduciary money. Fiduciary money is that money which is accepted because of the trust between the payer and the pay. Suppose you pay a check of 10,000 of your quarterly fees to your school. Your school accepts that check. Why? Because the school has a complete trust on your parents that this check will be honored at one point of time in the bank. जब आपके पेरेंट्स फीस पे करते हैं स्कूल को, तो दे हैव अ ट्रस्ट कि फीस जो है आपके अकाउंट में ही जाएगी और आपका फीस अकाउंट क्लियर होगा इससे. So that is a trust between the payer and the pay. Okay. Then we talk about the credit money. Credit money is that money where we take the money and pay the return amount at some future date along with the rate of interest. That is credit money. And when we talk about token money is that money when you go to market. आप लोग market जाते हैं, shops पे आप कुछ ना कुछ खाते हैं. Let's talk about food again. जैसे कि मैं क्लास में बात भी करती हूँ food की. अगर आप गोलगप्पे वगैरह खा रहे हैं तो you get a token of 20 rupees and the material of that token is plastic, which is very less than the face value of that token. Suppose you are purchasing the token for 20 rupees. 20 rupees is much more than the value or cost of the plastic of which that token is made. So here we can say that token money is that money whose intrinsic value is much less than the face value. Intrinsic value, children, is the value of the commodity of which that money is made, and face value is that value जो कि उसका actual print होता है, like 20 rupees, 30 rupees, that is the face value. Okay, so I hope types of money is also clear to you. Let us recapitulate once again. I am talking about only the types: fiat money, fiduciary money, credit money, and token money. Okay. Then let us move to the very important part of the chapter, that is money supply and its measures. Money supply. What do you mean by supply? Supply is flow of money in the economy. Okay. So how we define it in economic terms? Money supply is defined as the total stock of money held with the general public at a particular point of time in the country. Why I am talking about point of time? Because it is a stock, and stock always pertains to a particular point of time. Let's say that on 31st March 2020 in India, the money supply in the economy is 120 crores. This is at a point of time, that is, we are talking about 31st March 2020. So I hope the definition is clear to you. Once again, I'm repeating the definition. It is a total stock of money supply held with the general public at a point of time in the country. So three key points are there: total stock of money at a point of time and held with the general public. Okay, clear? I hope any doubt is not there about this definition. Now let's move with the components of money supply. You can see that I have written on a paper components of money supply. M1, it includes C plus DD plus OD. C stands for currency with the public, that is in terms of coins and paper notes. DD is demand deposits with the commercial banks, that is, or what deposits we are having in the commercial banks. Then OD is other deposits with RBI. Other deposits with RBI includes our term deposits, fixed deposit which we had made with any of the commercial banks, and it is deposited in the RBI. So three main components of money supply are there, that is currency with the public, demand deposits with commercial banks, and other deposits with RBI. Okay. So a question of 3 marker comes on this. Define money supply and state its main components. So 1 mark is reserved for the meaning of money supply and 2 marks are for the components. Clear? Now let's move to commercial bank. So in money, we have only this much: meaning of money, evolution of money, types of money, money supply and its measures. I forgot to mention you a very important point regarding money supply. We have to remember 2 things about money supply. That is, first, it is a stock concept, as I already told you, because it is measured at a particular point of time. And secondly, money supply includes only the money of general public, not the government and the RBI. It does not include the money of government and the RBI. Those who are the money suppliers in the economy. So who are the money suppliers now? RBI and the government. Now let's talk about commercial banks. जो वीडियो आपको मैंने रविंदर मैम वाली भेजी थी उसमें उन्होंने commercial banks and she has explained the main functions, which is not a part of our syllabus, but we generally mention because credit creation process is based on only those 2 functions. Then types of deposits accepted by commercial banks, and finally the most important part, credit creation process of commercial banks. Now let us start with commercial banks. Banks are of 2 types, that is commercial banks and central bank. Today we are going to talk about commercial banks first. Commercial banks are the banks which accepts the deposits of money from the general public for the purpose of lending or investment, and the deposits are withdrawable on demand by check, draft or otherwise. That is, these banks work for the profit motive, not for the social welfare, but for the profit motive. They accept the deposits, they keep the reserve, and they take the balance amount of the depositors in the form of loan and they give it to people who actually need them. This way they create credit in the economy. So commercial banks, they are working for only profit motive. That is why their names are commercial. Commercial means doing business. Okay. Then let's talk about the main functions of commercial bank. There are only 2 main functions. First, as I told you in the definition also, acceptance of deposits of money from the general public, and secondly, lending that money in the form of loans to the people who actually need them. Okay. So these are the 2 basic functions on which the credit creation process of commercial banks really depends. Now let us talk about the types of deposits. I hope every one of you have visited bank once in your lifetime. कौन कौन गया है बैंक? बताओ फटाफट. मैं कौन?
अनुष्का.
हाँ अनुष्का.
मैम मेरा अकाउंट है मैम.
मैं भी.
अकाउंट है ना, वेरी गुड. आज के डेट में बैंक में अकाउंट होना इज वेरी वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट, है ना?
थैंक यू.
सो बैंक में आप लोगों ने क्या देखा है, क्या क्या डिपार्टमेंट्स होते हैं?
मैम एक तो मैम मनी डिपार्टमेंट होता है मैम, जहाँ पर मैम जितने भी जो मनीज होते हैं वो देखते हैं.
यस, कैशियर जिसको बोलते हैं, टेलर बोलते हैं.
कैश डिपार्टमेंट होता है.
एक मैनेजर का रूम होता है, एक लॉकर रूम होता है. देयर आर सो मेनी डिपार्टमेंट. एक पब्लिक रिलेशंस ऑफिसर बैठता है जो आपकी क्वेरीज हैंडल करता है. ठीक है. सो लेट अस टॉक अबाउट द डिपॉजिट्स. जब हम बैंक में अपने पैसे रखते हैं तो जो रेगुलर सैलरीड क्लास पीपल है, जैसे अगर आपके पापा सर्विस में हैं या जैसे मैं सर्विस में हूँ, ठीक है, तो हम जो सर्विस में जो काम कर रहे हैं या जिन जो रेगुलर सैलरीड एम्प्लॉयज है, दे ओपन देयर सेविंग्स अकाउंट. सेविंग्स अकाउंट में क्या होता है कि आप अपना डिपॉजिट रखते हो, बैंक पेज अ वेरी नॉमिनल रेट ऑफ इंटरेस्ट. नॉमिनल मीन्स कि आपको एक फीजिबल अमाउंट मिलता है, ज्यादा इंटरेस्ट नहीं मिलता है उस पर. 3 to 4% डिपेंडिंग ऑन दी बैंक. प्राइवेट बैंक जो है वो 4% देते हैं, गवर्नमेंट बैंक जो है वो 3 to 4% देते हैं. ठीक है. तो दैट इज सेविंग्स डिपॉजिट. सेविंग्स डिपॉजिट में क्या होता है, जब आप अपना पैसा रखते हैं बैंक आपको बहुत नॉमिनल रेट ऑफ इंटरेस्ट देता है एंड आपको एक नंबर ऑफ चेक आप इशू कर सकते हैं. जस्ट होल्ड इट नीरज. सो number of checks is limited issued to you. So 3 things you have to remember for savings deposit. It is operated by regular salaried class. It is opened by regular salaried class people. Number of checks issued to you is limited and you get a very nominal rate of interest. Second type of account is current account. आप में से जिनके फादर्स का बिजनेस है, ठीक है, बिजनेसमैन जो होते हैं दे ओपन अ करंट अकाउंट, ठीक है। करंट अकाउंट में क्या होता है कि आपको रेट ऑफ इंटरेस्ट कुछ भी नहीं मिलता, देयर इज नो रेट ऑफ इंटरेस्ट, बट यू गेट एन ओवरड्राफ्ट फैसिलिटी। नाउ व्हाट इज ओवरड्राफ्ट फैसिलिटी? आपको बैंक एक फैसिलिटी, क्योंकि आप एक एलीट कस्टमर होते हो, बैंक के रेगुलर कस्टमर हो, तो आपको बैंक एक फैसिलिटी देता है, दैट फैसिलिटी इज नोन एज ओवरड्राफ्ट फैसिलिटी, इन विच यू कैन ओवरड्रॉ योर अकाउंट बाय अ स्पेसिफाइड लिमिट। सपोज फॉर एग्जाम्पल आपने एक पार्टी को चेक इशू किया 50,000 का, ठीक है, एंड यू हैव ओनली 40,000 इन योर अकाउंट। जब आपकी पार्टी जिसको आपने चेक दिया है, ही विल प्रेजेंट द चेक टू योर अकाउंट, बैंक अकाउंट।
बाउंस हो जाएगा?
नहीं, द बैंक नेवर डिसऑनर्स दैट। नहीं, यही तो मैं बता रही हूँ, ओवरड्राफ्ट फैसिलिटी में क्या होता है कि द बैंक डज नॉट डिसऑनर दैट चेक, although your account is less than 10,000, it's not sufficient, funds are not there, still the bank honors your check by giving 10,000 or depositing 10,000 in your account. Your check gets honored. Later on, the bank charges that amount 10,000 along with the interest from you. That is known as overdraft facility. That is, you can overdraw your account by a specified limit. This is an overdraft facility. Instead of interest, you get this facility from the bank if you are opening a current account. Okay, and the facility of check issuance is unlimited. So three things again about this account: it is opened by businessmen, and number of checks issued is unlimited, and you get overdraft facility instead of any rate of interest on your deposits. Okay. Finally, the third type of deposit is savings account, fixed account deposit. Sorry. Fixed deposit is what? It is a term deposit. That is, you can keep your money for 45 days, from 45 days to 5 years. The bank pays the highest rate of interest on such kind of deposit. But you get the matured amount on the maturity date. If you break your fixed deposit in between, what are you going to lose? You are going to sacrifice, or you have to forego the amount of interest balance for the stipulated period. Like you have kept the fixed deposit for 5 years and you take the amount in between, that is 3 years में आपने break कर लिया, तो आपको बाकी 2 years का interest जो है वो नहीं मिलेगा. This is the loss, or this is a sacrifice which you have to do when you are breaking the FD in between, that is before the maturity period. Okay, so now after studying these 3 types of deposits, you can answer that which type of deposit gets the highest rate of interest from the bank, that is fixed deposit account. Which deposit gets the overdraft facility? Current account. Okay,
current account.
yes. So types of deposit is also not so important from the curriculum point of view, but we have to do because it is there in the curriculum. Question is the 1 marker mein MCQs they can give in the boards. Now we come to the most important point, that is credit creation process of commercial banks. It is very, very important, a little bit complicated, but I'll try to explain you in a very easy language and easy form. But before that, let me tell you a very common difference between a bank and a financial institutions. You must have known about the financial institutions like LIC, then IDBI. There are lots of financial institutions who are operating in the economy at present. But what is the difference between bank and a financial institution? That is only a difference of functions. Bank performs 2 main functions: acceptance of deposit as well as lending of loans. But financial institutions performs only 1 function. Can you tell me what? Is it acceptance of deposit or is it lending of loans?
Ma'am, lending of loans.
Acceptance of deposits.
Acceptance of deposits.
Yes,
Acceptance of deposits.
Very good, very good. LIC only accepts your money. That is, you pay the premium and you get a lump sum of money at the end of the maturity period. Okay, but they don't give loans like post offices. Post offices also cannot be called as banks because post offices में हम recurring deposit में अपना पैसा जमा तो करते हैं, but they don't give us loans. ठीक है? So only one function is performed by the financial institution, that is acceptance of deposits, but they don't give loans to people. Okay, is it clear to all of you?
Ma'am, one question.
हाँ बोलो.
Ma'am, financial institutions, ma'am, insurance companies financial institution में आती हैं?
Insurance companies, yes, they are financial institutions like LICs ले लो, General Insurance Company. They only accept your money. आप एक टाइम तक प्रीमियम पे करते रहते हो एंड आफ्टर 10 years 20 years जब तक आप इंश्योरेंस की पॉलिसी जो है आपकी उसके मेच्योरिटी पीरियड पे यू गेट अ लम सम बैक, या आपका मनी बैक ऑफर्स भी होते हैं, बट दे डोंट गिव यू लोन्स नहीं देते ऐसे फाइनेंशियल इंस्टीट्यूशन. हाँ, तो देयर इज ओनली वन फंक्शन. दिस इज दक्ष, आई सपोज.
Yes, ma'am.
Good morning, Daksh. How are you?
Good morning, ma'am. Fine.
Good. So last but not the least, credit creation process of commercial banks. Credit creation process of commercial banks depends on two main factors. एक तो functions मैंने आपको पहले बताया, and then the second thing is important is primary deposit, that is the first deposit which is done in the bank. Initial fresh deposit भी हम इसको बोल सकते हैं. And second is legal reserve ratio. Now, what is legal reserve ratio? Legal reserve ratio is a sum of two types of ratios. First, understand that. That is cash reserve ratio, CRR, and statutory liquidity ratio, that is SLR. Now, what is CRR? Commercial banks जब अपना पैसा RBI के पास deposit करता है, तो they have to keep a certain percentage, minimum percentage of their total cash reserves as CRR. Let's say अगर वो 10% है and a commercial bank is keeping 1 lakh as the deposit, so they have to keep 10% of 1 lakh, that is 10,000 as CRR. Okay. SLR is same, but SLR pertains to liquid assets. That is commercial banks जो अपना total assets deposits रखता है RBI के पास, तो उसका जो minimum percentage है, that will be considered as statutory liquidity ratio. Okay. So let's say if CRR is 10% and statutory liquidity ratio is 20%, so your LRR will be 10 plus 20, that is 30%. LRR is very, very important component for credit creation process of commercial banks. Now let us see how commercial banks creates credit. Commercial banks are the creator of credit. They are known as the credit factory of Indian monetary system. Why? Because they create credit. But have you ever thought of that? Do they create credit in air? They don't have their own money. Commercial banks के पास अपना पैसा कुछ नहीं होता है. पैसा कहाँ से आता है commercial banks के पास? From where do they get a deposit of money?
Deposit.
Yes,
Deposit.
yes.
Savings.
Yes, very good. From the general public, which we deposit as into our account, savings account. जितने भी savings में हम डालते हैं पैसे, वो सारा बैंक के पास होता है. Now, what does the bank do at first stage? जैसे suppose करो आपने 1 लाख डिपॉजिट करवाया, बैंक क्या करेगी? 10% रिजर्व काट के 10,000 रिजर्व में रखेगी. Now, how much is available with the bank? 90,000. Okay. 90,000 will be available with the bank as loan. That is, the bank can give this 90,000 loan. Yes, because the bank by past experiences knows that कोई भी depositor एक point of time पे इतना पैसा एक साथ नहीं निकालता. They have to keep a minimum balance. ठीक है, जो जब हम अकाउंट खोलते हैं तो स्टार्टिंग में हमें बोला जाता है ना, सेविंग्स अकाउंट के लिए 5,000 रखना है या करंट अकाउंट के लिए 10,000 रखना है, तो वही हमारा एक तरह से रिजर्व होता है, मिनिमम रिजर्व. ठीक है. नाउ लेट अस सी द प्रोसेस. हमारा जो न्यूमेरिकल एग्जांपल मैंने लिया है, यू कैन सी दैट इज आपका प्राइमरी डिपॉजिट इज 1,000 and LRR is 10%. Now I have drawn a table. Hello, are you able to hear me, students? Are you able to hear me? Sorry, there was some disturbance in the network connection. Okay, can you see this page which I am showing it to you?
Yes, ma'am.
There's a table you can see. I have made 4 columns: rounds, primary deposit, then reserve, and the loan amount. So in the first round, you can see there was a 1,000 initial deposit in the bank. Out of that, the bank has kept 10%, that is 100 as reserve, and 900 was there with the loan amount with the bank. Now what does the bank do? Bank doesn't give this 900 to the borrower directly. Instead, the bank opens an account in the name of the borrower and deposits that 900 into his account. Now he cannot withdraw all 900. Second round mein you can see 900 is the initial deposit, 90 is the reserve, and 810 will be available again for the loan in the second round. Again, a borrower approaches the bank. He needs the money. The bank will again open an account in his name. बैंक क्या करेगा? डायरेक्टली पैसे नहीं देता है. हर राउंड में बैंक ओपन्स एन अकाउंट इन द नेम ऑफ बोरोवर और वो अमाउंट उसके अकाउंट में ट्रांसफर हो जाता है. In this way, you can see that there is a reserve of 100. हाँ, बोलो बेटा.
मैम ये जो कैश रिजर्व है यही है ना हमारा LRR.
हाँ, ये जो आपका रिजर्व है, this is LRR. In the end, I have shown a calculation. You can see that the how much credit multiplier is there. That is formula. This formula is very, very important. 1 upon LRR into primary deposit. Our LRR was 10%. Primary deposit was 1,000. You can see the bank is able to create how much credit? That is 10 times of 1,000, 10,000 rupees total credit create हो रहा है, जिसमें 1,000 is reserve and 9,000 is the loan which the bank can give easily to the borrowers. So this process is very, very important. आपको इसमें important चीजें क्या note रखनी है? The factors on which this process depends, that is initial fresh deposit or the primary deposit and the legal reserve ratio. Then you have to draw this table and then you have to mention in the end calculation of credit multiplier. And this process, this credit creation process continues till the loan amount or the derivative deposit with the bank becomes zero. Okay? जब बैंक के पास कोई लोन अमाउंट बचेगा ही नहीं, तब तक ये प्रोसेस कंटिन्यू रहता है. In that way, bank creates a total credit of 10,000 rupees. Now, this was today's class, children. Any doubt? Now, 10 minutes I am giving you. You can ask your doubts. You can have your questions.
मैम हिस्ट्री की क्लास भी है हमारी 11 बजे.
अच्छा, 11 बजे आपकी हिस्ट्री की क्लास है. Then okay. God bless you all. Stay home, stay blessed, and stay safe.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay.
Thank you, ma'am.